What is titillation? Titillation.
Sorry, I'm having issues right now. Our systems are experiencing heavy load. Please try again later.
What is titillation?
Titillation refers to the act of exciting or stimulating someone, often in a way that is pleasurable, but not deeply significant. It usually involves arousing curiosity, interest, or a sense of enjoyment, often in a light, teasing, or mildly provocative manner. The term can be used in various contexts, from entertainment that excites the senses to content that stirs interest through suggestiveness or intrigue.
Give some examples of titillation.
Here are some examples of titillation. 1. A suspenseful movie trailer that reveals just enough to intrigue and excite the audience but leaves them wanting more. 2. A flirtatious conversation that is playful and teasing, creating a sense of excitement without being too serious. 3. A book with a mysterious plot twist, where each chapter ends on a cliffhanger, keeping the reader eagerly turning pages. 4. A piece of gossip that hints at something scandalous or interesting, piquing curiosity without revealing all the details. 5. A fashion ad featuring alluring visuals that catch the eye and spark interest, using suggestive imagery to draw attention. These examples show how titillation can involve creating anticipation, excitement, or curiosity in a way that engages the senses or imagination.
What is adulation? Adulation.
Adulation refers to excessive praise, admiration, or flattery, often in an exaggerated or insincere manner. It's when someone is showered with compliments or admiration to a degree that may seem over the top. For example, a celebrity might receive adulation from their fans, where the praise goes beyond what's normal or realistic.
Give two examples in sentences.
Sure, here are two examples of adulation in sentences. 1. The actor was uncomfortable with the constant adulation from fans who treated him like a hero, even though he considered himself just an ordinary person. 2. The politician enjoyed the adulation of the crowd, though some questioned whether the praise was truly deserved.
What is the meaning of proscription? Proscription.
Proscription refers to the act of officially prohibiting or banning something, often by law or authority. It can also mean condemning or denouncing something or someone. Historically, proscription was used to describe a list of individuals who were outlawed or targeted for punishment, often leading to confiscation of their property or even death. For example, if a government enacts the proscription of a political group, it means that the group is officially banned and its activities are illegal.
Give two more example in sentences.
Certainly. Here are two examples of proscription in sentences. 1. The government's proscription of the rebel faction led to their leaders being arrested and their assets seized. 2. The proscription of certain books during that era made them difficult to find, as they were considered dangerous by the authorities.
What is the meaning of militancy? Militancy. And also tell me this is verb or noun or adjective.
Militancy is a noun. It refers to the aggressive or combative behavior, attitude, or stance, often in support of a cause, particularly a political or social one. Militancy typically involves a willingness to use force, confrontation, or extreme measures to achieve goals. For example, a group showing militancy might be willing to engage in protests, strikes, or even violence to push forward their agenda. It often implies a more aggressive or uncompromising approach to activism.
What is Malignity?
Malignity is a noun that refers to intense ill will, spite, or malevolence. It describes the quality of being harmful, evil, or having a strong desire to cause harm to others. Malignity can also refer to something that is inherently dangerous or harmful, such as a disease or influence that spreads harm. For example, someone acting with malignity might deliberately try to hurt or destroy someone else out of deep hatred or malice. The term can also be used to describe the harmful nature of something, like a malignity in a tumor, indicating that it is cancerous and likely to spread.
Give two examples of malignity.
Here are two examples of malignity in sentences. 1. The malignity of his intentions became clear when he started spreading harmful rumors to ruin his colleague's reputation. 2. The doctor warned of the malignity of the tumor, explaining that it could spread rapidly if not treated immediately.
What is MALEDICTION?
Malediction is a noun that refers to a curse or the utterance of a curse. It involves words spoken with the intention of bringing harm, misfortune, or evil upon someone. The term can also be used more generally to describe any expression of hatred or ill will toward another person. For example, if someone utters a malediction against their enemy, they are wishing bad things to happen to them, often in a very intense or hostile manner.
Give two examples in sentences.
Here are two examples of malediction in sentences. 1. The old woman muttered a malediction under her breath as the thief ran off with her purse, cursing him to a life of bad luck. 2. In the ancient tale, the wizard's malediction doomed the kingdom to years of darkness and despair.
Give two more examples.
Here are two more examples of malediction in sentences. 1. The villagers feared the witch's malediction, believing that her curse could bring illness or misfortune to their families. 2. His angry malediction against those who wronged him echoed through the hall, leaving everyone uneasy.
What is MALADROITNESS?
Maladroitness is a noun that refers to the quality of being clumsy, awkward, or lacking in skill, particularly in social situations or in handling delicate matters. It describes someone who struggles with grace or tact, often making mistakes or handling things poorly. For example, if someone handles a sensitive conversation with maladroitness, they might say the wrong things or make the situation more uncomfortable due to their lack of social finesse.
What is clumsiness?
Clumsiness is a noun that refers to the quality of being awkward or lacking coordination, often leading to accidents, mistakes, or mishandling of objects or situations. A clumsy person might frequently drop things, trip, or struggle with tasks that require precision or care. Clumsiness can also apply to social situations where someone might say or do things that seem awkward or out of place, causing discomfort or embarrassment.
What is obviation? OBVIATION.
Obviation is a noun that refers to the act of preventing or eliminating something, especially a problem or difficulty, before it happens. It involves taking action to remove the need for something or to avoid an issue altogether. In essence, obviation is about making something unnecessary by addressing it proactively. For example, if a company implements a new security system to prevent breaches, this action serves as an obviation of potential security risks.
Give two more examples in sentences of obviation.
Here are two examples of obviation in sentences. 1. The early intervention by the medical team led to the obviation of more serious health complications for the patient. 2. The city's new traffic management plan resulted in the obviation of congestion during rush hours, making the commute smoother for everyone.
What is Malevolence?
Malevolence is a noun that refers to the state or quality of having or showing a desire to cause harm, evil, or ill will toward others. It is the opposite of kindness or benevolence and often involves a deep seated hatred or wish to inflict suffering. For example, a person who acts with malevolence may deliberately try to hurt or sabotage others because of their malicious intentions. It can also describe the harmful or evil nature of actions, thoughts, or feelings.
What is Malaise?
Malaise is a noun that refers to a general feeling of discomfort, unease, or dissatisfaction, often without a specific cause. It can describe both physical symptoms, such as feeling generally unwell, and emotional or mental states, such as a sense of discontent or unease with a situation. For example, someone might feel a sense of malaise when they are physically tired and mentally drained, even if they can't pinpoint exactly what's wrong. It can also refer to a broader societal or cultural feeling of dissatisfaction or unrest.
Narrate a story with all these vocabulary.
Here's a story that incorporates all the vocabularies we've discussed: malignity, malediction, maladroitness, clumsiness, obviation, malevolence, and malaise. In a small, quiet village nestled in the mountains, there lived a young woman named Elara. She was known for her kindness, but also for her unfortunate clumsiness. No matter how careful she tried to be, she always seemed to stumble over her own feet, knock things over, or accidentally offend someone with her awkwardness. Her maladroitness in social situations made her a bit of an outsider, and the villagers often whispered about her behind her back. One day, a dark figure arrived in the village, a sorcerer known for his malevolence. He thrived on causing chaos and misery wherever he went. His heart was full of malignity, and he enjoyed seeing others suffer. The villagers, fearful of his power, kept their distance, but Alara's natural curiosity got the better of her. She approached the sorcerer, offering him a warm welcome, though her nervousness made her trip over her words and nearly spill tea on him. Amused by her clumsiness, the sorcerer decided to play a cruel trick. He cast a malediction on the village, cursing it with endless rain and dark clouds, making the once cheerful place cold and dreary. The crops began to fail, and the villagers fell into a deep malaise. They felt a constant sense of unease and hopelessness, unsure how to lift the curse that had befallen them. Alara, despite her awkwardness, felt responsible. She knew she had to find a way to undo the malediction and save the village from the sorcerer's malevolence. Determined, she set out to find a solution. Along her journey, she sought advice from wise elders and learned of an ancient ritual that could lead to the obviation of the curse, preventing its effects from causing further harm. Returning to the village, Ilara gathered the villagers and explained the ritual. Though some doubted her abilities due to her maladroitness, they agreed to help. With trembling hands, Alara performed the ritual, focusing all her energy on removing the curse. As the final words were spoken, the dark clouds began to part, and the sun slowly emerged, breaking through the gloom. The villagers were astonished. Alara's efforts had succeeded, and the malaise that had gripped the village started to fade. The curse was lifted, and the village began to heal. Though Alara still stumbled from time to time, the villagers no longer saw her clumsiness as a flaw. Instead, they admired her bravery and determination. In the end, Alara had not only lifted the curse, but had also proven that even those who are imperfect can achieve great things when they act with courage and kindness. I hope this story helps illustrate the meanings of the words in a meaningful way.
Yeah, certainly, but you missed some words like titillation, adulation, proscription, militancy, malignity.
You're right. Let's expand the story to include the additional words: titillation, adulation, prescription, militancy, malignity, and the rest. Here's the revised version. In the small, quiet village nestled in the mountains, there lived a young woman named Ilara. During her quest, she came across a neighboring kingdom where a wave of militancy had taken over. The people had grown aggressive in their efforts to defend their land, driven by fear and anger. Their militancy led them to prescribe any contact with outsiders, making it difficult for Alara to seek their help. The proscription of interaction with strangers was strictly enforced, and anyone caught breaking the rule faced severe punishment. Despite the harshness of this neighboring kingdom, Alara pressed on. Along her journey, she encountered moments of titillation, glimpses of what life could be like if the curse were lifted, if peace were restored, and if the village returned to its former glory. These small moments of joy kept her going, even as she faced obstacles. Eventually, Alara returned to her village. Armed with the knowledge she had gathered, she began the ritual that would bring an end to the curse. The villagers, who once doubted her due to her maladroitness, now showered her with adulation. They praised her bravery and determination, even as she nervously went about performing the ritual. The village's malaise lifted, and the curse was finally broken. The malevolence that had once gripped the village had been overcome. In the end, Alara's efforts brought the village back to life. The adulation she received was overwhelming, and she was hailed as a hero. Although she still stumbled from time to time, the villagers no longer saw her clumsiness as a flaw. Instead, they admired her persistence and courage. Through it all, Alara had proven that even the most unlikely individuals can achieve greatness when they follow their heart and refuse to give in to despair. This version incorporates all the requested vocabularies into the story. I hope it now captures all the words you wanted to include.
Okay, so what is the meaning of adulatory? ADULATORY?
Adulatory is an adjective that describes excessive praise or flattery. When something is adulatory, it involves overly enthusiastic or uncritical admiration, often in a way that seems exaggerated or insincere. For example, if a speech or a comment is adulatory, it might excessively praise someone to the point where it seems more like flattery than genuine appreciation.
What is proscriptive?
I'm sorry, but I'm having trouble responding right now. Please wait a bit and try again.
What is proscriptive?
Proscriptive is an adjective that describes something that involves or relates to prohibition, restriction, or banning. It refers to rules, laws, or guidelines that prohibit or forbid certain actions or behaviors. For example, a proscriptive law might ban certain substances or activities, meaning they are not allowed by law. The term can also be used more generally to describe any set of rules or guidelines that dictate what is not permitted.
What is malign?
Malign can function as both a verb and an adjective with slightly different meanings depending on its usage. 1. As a verb, malign means to speak about someone or something in a harmful, critical, or unfair way. For example, if someone is maligning another person, they are spreading negative or false statements about them with the intent to harm their reputation. Example, he tried to malign his coworker by spreading false rumors. 2. As an adjective, malign describes something or someone that is harmful, evil, or having a malevolent influence. It suggests an intention to cause harm. Example, the malign influence of the corrupt leader caused the downfall of the organization. In both cases, malign is associated with harmful intentions or actions.
What is trivial?
Trivial is an adjective that describes something as being of little importance, value, or significance. It refers to matters that are considered minor, insignificant, or not worth serious attention. For example, if a conversation focuses on trivial details, it might be about small, unimportant things that don't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Similarly, a trivial problem is one that is easy to solve or not serious enough to cause concern.
What if somebody is maledictory? maledictory?
If someone is maledictory, It means they are inclined to utter curses or speak in a way that is intended to bring harm, misfortune, or ill will to others. The term maledictory describes a person or their language as being full of curses or expressions of strong negativity and hostility. For example, a maledictory speech might be filled with harmful wishes or harsh condemnations directed at someone, reflecting deep anger or hatred. This word is closely related to malediction, which refers to the act of cursing itself.
What is difference among maledictory, malevolent, and maladroit?
Here's a breakdown of the differences between maledictory, malevolent, and maladroit. 1. Maledictory, meaning this adjective describes something related to cursing or speaking in a harmful, ill-wishing manner. If someone or something is maledictory, it involves uttering curses or harsh, negative words with the intention of causing harm. Example, his maledictory remarks left everyone in shock as he cursed his opponents without restraint. 2. Malevolent, meaning this adjective refers to having or showing a desire to cause harm or evil to others. A malevolent person has ill intentions and wishes to inflict pain, suffering, or misfortune on others. Example, the villain's malevolent grin revealed his intentions to destroy everything in his path. 3. Maladroit, meaning this adjective means clumsy or lacking skill, particularly in handling situations or tasks. A maladroit person is awkward, inept, or tactless, especially in social interactions or delicate matters. Example, his maladroit attempt to apologize only made the situation more awkward and uncomfortable. Summary, maledictory relates to speaking curses or expressing harmful wishes. Malevolent describes someone with evil intentions or a desire to cause harm. Maladroit refers to being clumsy, awkward, or lacking skill, especially in handling situations. Each term is connected to negative qualities, but they focus on different aspects. Maledictory on harmful speech, malevolent on harmful intentions, and maladroit on a lack of skill or grace.
Narrate a story with all these words.
Here's a story that incorporates the words maledictory, malevolent, and maladroit. In the ancient town of Eldoria, there lived a man named Thorn, who was known for his sharp tongue and even sharper temper. He was feared by many, not just for his malevolent nature, but also for his maledictory speech. Whenever Thorn was angered, which was often, he would lash out with curses and hateful words that seemed to leave a dark cloud over the town. Thorn's malevolent heart made him a man to be avoided. He took pleasure in others' misfortunes and often went out of his way to create chaos. If a neighbor had a successful harvest, Thorn would spread rumors and lies, trying to ruin their reputation. His maledictory remarks were feared, as it was believed that his curses could bring real misfortune. Despite his fearsome reputation, Thorn was also maladroit in many ways. While his words could cut like a knife, his actions often betrayed his lack of grace and skill. For instance, when he attempted to sabotage a local merchant by tampering with their goods, his maladroit efforts led to his own downfall. He accidentally spilled the goods all over the market square, making a fool of himself in front of everyone. The townspeople couldn't help but chuckle at his clumsiness, though they did so quietly, fearing his next maledictory outburst. One day, a new traveler arrived in Eldoria, a wise woman named Seraphine. She had heard tales of Thorn's malevolent ways and decided to confront him. When she approached him in the town square, Thorn immediately began to hurl his maledictory insults at her, cursing her with all the venom he could muster. But Seraphine remained calm, her eyes never leaving his. "Your words hold no power over me, Thorn," she said with a steady voice. "It is your own bitterness that curses you, not me." For the first time, Thorn found himself at a loss for words. His maladroit attempts to intimidate her fell flat, and the crowd that had gathered began to see him for what he truly was, an angry, lonely man, trapped by his own hatred. Seraphine continued, "You can choose to let go of your malevolence and find peace, or you can continue down this path, cursing others while you yourself remain cursed." Thorn was silent, his usual maledictory nature subdued by her wisdom. Deep down, he knew she was right. His malevolence had brought him nothing but misery, and his maladroit actions had only made him a laughingstock. In that moment, Thorn realized that he had the power to change his fate. Though it took time, Thorn began to soften. He stopped his maledictory outbursts and tried to repair the damage he had done. The townspeople, initially skeptical, eventually noticed the change in him. His malevolent nature was slowly replaced by a quieter, more introspective man. And though he still stumbled and made mistakes, his maladroit actions were now met with understanding rather than fear. In the end, Thorn found that letting go of his malevolence brought him the peace he had long sought. And while his past deeds could never be fully undone, the curses that once hung over him faded, replaced by a newfound sense of hope and redemption. This story weaves in the meanings of the words, showing how Thorn's journey from a maledictory and malevolent figure to someone who overcomes his maladroit ways leads to his transformation.
What is the meaning of clumsy? CLUMSY. Please tell in easy words.
Clumsy means being awkward or uncoordinated, often leading to accidents or mistakes. A clumsy person might drop things, bump into objects, or struggle with tasks that require careful movements. It's like being a little bit shaky or unsteady when trying to do something.
Okay, but narrate a example for that.
Here's an example. Imagine you're carrying a tray of drinks to your friends at a party. As you're walking, you accidentally trip over a small bump in the carpet. The drinks wobble, and before you can steady the tray, they all spill onto the floor. Everyone looks, and you feel a bit embarrassed. This is a moment of being clumsy. You didn't mean to drop the drinks, but because you were a bit unsteady or awkward, it happened. That's what being clumsy is like. Trying to do something, but accidentally making a mistake because you weren't careful or coordinated enough.
Is clumsy and maladroit are same?
Yes, clumsy and maladroit have similar meanings, but they are used in slightly different contexts. Clumsy is a more common, everyday word that describes someone who is physically awkward or uncoordinated. It usually refers to actions that result in accidents or mistakes, like dropping things or bumping into objects. It's often used in a lighthearted way. Example: he was so clumsy that he knocked over the vase while reaching for the book. Maladroit is a more formal word and is often used to describe not just physical clumsiness, but also social awkwardness or a lack of skill in handling situations. It's more about being inept or tactless in both physical and social contexts. Example: his maladroit attempt at comforting his friend only made things more uncomfortable. So, while both words describe awkwardness or lack of skill, clumsy is more about physical awkwardness, and maladroit can refer to both physical and social ineptness, often in a more formal or critical sense.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. I'm glad I could help. If you ever have more questions or need assistance, feel free to reach out. Have a great day.